very much, Laila. I'm really happy to be here to share our story. I think one of the things that we also learn as we growing up is sharing is caring. And when you share from a point of what you've done, and perhaps another organization could get to learn, and be strong enough or be vulnerable enough to share what they're doing in the women empowerment story. So from an ABSA perspective, we have a long history in Kenya. And in our history, we also realized that the bank had taken very early steps in being able to empower women. So for instance, in 1972, we had Agatha Obare, who was promoted to a position of, she was the first woman to be promoted to the position of branch supervisor, something that was not done those days. And then we quickly followed it up in 1977 with Mary Okello to branch manager. And of course, Mary Okello, as we all know her, Dr. Mary Okello later became the first African representative of women's world banking and the first woman advisor to the president of the African Development Bank. So you can see the history, whether it was something that was structurally put in place, maybe we had really strong he or she's at that point. We do have histories in terms of how we've empowered women along the way. Over time, our commitment, of course, to diversity and inclusion has paid off because, if we look at today, our constitute as a bank, 48%, we have 48% representation of women in our employment, in our employee population, which is a really, commendable piece considering the size of the organization. We are over just about 3,000 of us. And this is done because, we monitor this consciously. One of the things we do is we monitor because we want to get better. And it's not to say that we want to disadvantage the men, the men folk. We want to ensure that we create an environment where there's a respected, empowered colleague to reach their full potential and to really, really be able to prosper, free of discrimination and violence. So, these are some of the things that we've done, in our DNA to ensure that we have a better organization. If I look at also, last year, we then got acknowledged for some of the things that we've done systematically over the years. ABSA was named by Forbes among the world's top 40 female-friendly companies on the list of 400 global companies. And on the African scale, on the African continent, we were the best. So there is some good work that has been done across, the ABSA franchise. Then, the fact that we continue to focus on diversity and inclusion as a key agenda, tracked all the way up to board level, of which you already know. But, it is something that we are very conscious of. So there is no giving up on this. It's the right thing to do. It's not just a nice thing to do. It is definitely the right thing to do to empower women across the industry, by telling our story as well.